How's it going, everyone? My name is Charlie. This right here is my Great Dane puppy Roxy. And today in this video, we're talking about some of the things that become easier as your dog gets older, your Great Dane gets older, and some of the things that might be a little bit more challenging as they get older that used to be easy. And the very first thing that I'm gonna kick this off with, because this was groundbreaking when this happened for Roxy and I, and that's when Roxy was done potty training. That to me was the biggest relief, the biggest hurdle. Man, it was just a nightmare for that first about month and a half, I believe, is when we kind of fully caught on to it, or fully got it under control. It kind of became less and less frequent, but man, once we finally got, that under control, things became way easier. So for all the parents that are struggling with their new puppy, man, things just become way easier once this very crucial step is complete. Roxy and I use the bell on our doors that she rings when she has to go out. She still uses them to this day. It's just kind of helpful communication, even though I have a pretty good read, and she's certainly old enough to be able to hold her bladder for a really long time. But she also sometimes uses those just to communicate that she wants to go outside, period. And sometimes that communication is just helpful to have. We also seem to have an understanding of when she might even just be ringing it because she wants some attention. So we figured that out, but early on she would ring it when she needed to go to the bathroom, and it helped me out tremendously. It might be something that helps you all out. One of the things that is nice as your dog gets older is if you already have if you had already purchased a lot of the accessories like the crate or the different toys you always need more of, but I've certainly found that as your dog gets older, even though they might be eating a lot more food, they feel a lot less expensive than when they're initially puppies, because when they're puppies, it feels like you're going to the vet with them like every other week for new things. And as they get older, like you might only be going to the vet like once every 6 months. You know what I mean? And like really their only big cost is, would be food. That would be your only big reoccurring cost outside of toys. And obviously what everybody splurges on their dog might be different, but I've certainly found that as Roxy has gotten older, she feels a lot less expensive because I own all of the important things that she needs, and then food is just a reoccurring cost, and you can find different subscription services for food that you like to deliver to you at a discount. There's a few different ways that you can work to try and make their food feel more budget friendly. I think that's a benefit as well. As she's gotten older, it feels like we got a battle rhythm down. Even one thing that Roxy hasn't struggled with this year that she struggled with last year is during this time, especially throughout the summer, she had really bad bumps on her back from some kind of reaction. And since, it was her first summer in and around this area, and she's coming up on being 2, this year she didn't have any kind of reaction to anything. We've had no bumps on her back, which is wonderful to see, because that was another thing that caused us to go to the vet more last year, is trying to figure out what that problem was. But this year we haven't had that problem whatsoever, which has been really nice. Now I will say one thing that is certainly challenging with a Great Dane as they get older is they become a lot bigger and a lot stronger. And my house feels like a permanent slipper house, because even though Roxy has good awareness for the most part of where she's stepping these days, still if a Great Dane steps on your foot, it really hurts. So that's something. And again, like these days, if I have to lift Roxy to get her up somewhere that either maybe she's struggling with stairs or maybe she's struggling to get up, I don't have a lot of great examples for why you might need to be lifting a Great Dane, but if you have to be lifting a Great Dane, they are very heavy, and it's not just like their sheer weight it feels like you're lifting, but all of their muscles that you're going against if they don't want to be doing what you're asking them to. But all in all, one of the reasons why I wanted to make this video is I was actually looking at some of my older videos And I was seeing me talk about, you know, like Roxy as a puppy and some of the different challenges we were facing, some of the different setbacks we were dealing with. And it is amazing looking back on those videos now that she's about to turn 2 years old, because she is so much easier to deal with these days. Like, it literally goes from, you know, the feeling like a puppy parent is just like taking over your life because they require so much attention, they require so much work, there's so much this, there's so much that. Nowadays, Roxy just feels like a great companion. You know, she does a really good job of kind of aligning herself with my energy levels. So if I'm relaxing, she's fine relaxing, but then we'll go for a run, we'll go for a walk, we'll go outside and play a few times a day. So she just feels so low maintenance these days compared to when she was younger, and it felt like so much of my time was just going towards, you know, like taking care of her and making sure she was okay. So if there is anybody that is in that puppy phase where it just feels like, you know, you're questioning all of your choices, did you have the time, did you have, you know, was this the right dog for you to get? Things do get better, especially again if you're paying, you know, close attention to the habits that you're encouraging, if you're paying close attention to, you know, training your dog to be a positive companion. That work does pay off. It becomes so much easier, and it's non-comparable. Like the level of effort that's required when raising a puppy that's a few months old compared to even where Roxy is at is night and day. So if it's something that you are currently struggling with your dog and you feel like, you know, there's no end in sight, if you keep at it, if you keep doing your best to set them up for success in the long run, things do get way easier. But that's all we have for you today, everyone. Thank you so much for supporting our channel, and thanks for rocking with us.